Right, so let's do another example of perspective drawing. So again, I'm going to date this and sign it. And I'm just going to do a simple perspective. So I'll do my horizontal line or eye line. Here's my center vanishing point, and I'll draw just a vertical line there. And I will start off like I've done before, just a simple square, and I'm going to divide it up, nothing complicated. And I'm doing it by eye and with no ruler, but of course you can use a ruler, it's not a problem. So I'm going to extend this central cube. So we're going to do a floor. So here's one vanishing point. So this is 1 point perspective. And out the corners. Doesn't matter if I miss a bit. There you go. And so I have my floor. And what I'm going to do is I want to divide this up sort of in equal areas, sort of like I've got here. And I'm going to use the cross method. And the cross method is quite straightforward. We go from diagonal to diagonal. And that is the center where they cross of the shape, but in perspective, of course. So I can draw a horizontal line there, which goes through the center. And if I then extend the vertical lines from my central square, so crossing over like that, so you can see where we cross. This will give us our horizontal bars in perspective. So we have nearer our eye line. This is where I'm looking. The squares are larger, as you can see. So the nearer things are to you, larger they are, and the further away, the smaller they are. And the cross method works very well because you go from corner to corner, opposite corner to opposite corner. Where they cross is the center point. And then when you draw the perspective lines out from the verticals of my central cube and then cross the lines over, where they cross is where I just draw the next horizontal lines. And it works very, very well. And so I can now draw anything sort of I want in a rectangular fashion here in perspective to give me the sort of the area I want. And I can do the same for a wall. So again, draw out from the vanishing point to the corners. And again, from the points, I'll go vertical, just manually doing it. Boom. And so forth. Doesn't matter if you're a bit wonky. We can always draw it again approximately or rub it out and do it. And we can play around again. So we can do our cross method. So I'm slightly off because I can't draw very well. But there we go. You see, it's almost there. And then we can play around, and where things draw, well, cross, I should say, we can then go to the vanishing point out, and you can see what we've got in our area. Of course, I can draw as many vertical lines or as many any lines as I wish, and I can create a number of boxes all in perspective. So the cross method basically gives us a way of dividing up an area in perspective. We get the center point, we draw out from our central vanishing point, or any vanishing point, doesn't have to be in the center, of course. I could do it over the left or the right, it doesn't matter. And then bringing the lines down, bring them out from the center point out. Where they cross is where I can draw the horizontal. Remember, for 1 point perspective, There's only one set of lines going to the vanishing point. Everything else is either horizontal, parallel to the horizon line, or vertical, basically perpendicular to the horizon line. And that's a nice, simple way of dividing up areas and making sure things are correct and we have the correct distances when we go from near to far.